China, but it is also a case that is common in my country. And I'm also imagining that this practice is also there in Benin, Ghana, and other countries. In Uganda, once you have spent 3 to 5 years in a given place, it is mandatory that you must move. Right? Now, this practice has gone on for a long time. I think since pre-colonial time, must people be transferred? And or can you quantify the benefits that we have out of this practice? Now, it looks like some reviewed or research tries to allude to this possibility. And for example, the study that was conducted by Sier and Rockford did demonstrate that the productivity of a teacher improves in the first 3 to 5 years, and after 5 years it flattens for a given period and then declines later. So it looks like there is a borrowing out. In Uganda, we are fortunate to have decentralization implemented. We have the Republic, and then within the Republic we have 115 people head as well as an executive that actually man the issue of administration, health, and things like that within a decentralized unit. And so, primary schools being completely centralized in that the management, the deployment of teachers is actually controlled by the districts. And so the chief administrative officer, who is the top executive of the district, manages the transfer of teachers from one school to the other. What I said, that you are likely to be transferred across the country, from one corner of the country to the other. Irrespective of whether you have the importance that is attributed to education, which I remember one of our senior colleagues was saying the other day that really the software, for any development is knowledge, and it is in order to ensure equity, right? Or how do we enhance the morale of the teachers? And we're also aware that teacher absenteeism is a serious phenomenon across Africa or across developing countries, which is terrible, as you may observe. Now, although transfer of teachers is a common occurrence in Uganda and across other countries, there hasn't been a comprehensive research. So the teacher remained within the school, but it was only moved, randomly assigned to different classes, and they found some evidence of improvement in students' learning. Grissom did use administrative data, so they don't have the chance to really be able to attribute transfers to the kind of evidence that was posted in either. So we are starting with one administrative district and targeting 145 government-aided schools in that particular district. However, identify something that is measurable of any decentralization that they have. And so Bukiri district is one of the worst performing districts, and when the Ghana National Examinations Board, where just to give you a small idea about, I don't know whether in Benin you have a national assessment, an assessment that is done in between the years. We have an assessment that is conducted at grade 3 and also grade 6 of primary school in literacy and numeracy, to find out what is the achievement level of learners at the 6th grade who are found to be proficient, only 7%. And then 18% who are found to be proficient in numeracy. Children attended to by only one teacher on average. I don't know how it is. Those of the data that was captured in 72 schools out of 145 schools, we obtained that on average 22% of the teachers' days. On average, teachers were absent for 22 days, right? Which is quite, it's a very prevalent occurrence. Within only this year, are very irregular, because we found that there were 40% of the teachers who who are eligible for transfer that are not eligible. And then, what is then quite painful is that it is very common. 20 schools scattered all over the district and had focused discussions with the teachers. And it was surprising that there are teachers who had not showed up in the second term because for teachers next week. Very few. I'm not even sure whether they can reach 1%. They have to do a lot of reorganization before it finally shows up. So what we are dealing with here is something that has to do with, we also try to find out for them what perhaps from their understanding, from their experience, seems to offer the likelihood of transfer. And should you be placed in a very remote school, the chances are very slim that you get transferred. And then, because somehow the head teacher also participates in deciding who gets transferred. So he would also want to keep you in this school. And then, when we try to look at, ask them, what define, so they were not talking about going to a town school, no, but they were looking at a school near my home, because accommodation is hard to find near school. Right? Then the food and so on, you would rather stay with that. So, these are our, we have transfer of teachers from students achievement. And the other treatment that we like to do is to make a promise. One to promise attendance via the input or via the stress test course. Then you are likely to go to a school of your choice. Right? And so we also want to find out if vetting in deciding which school he or she goes to on the basis of the input incentivization and the output incentivization, what kind of investigation. And we are proposing to randomly assign the 145 schools into 3 groups. A control group will have 49 schools, and then the treatment group will have 2 arms. In one arm, the teacher's attendance and participation in classrooms, and then the other is to see for a district to implement. But we are trying to say, how about the case of observing teacher's attendance or participation in classroom? That is something that is perhaps easier for the district to implement. And so, idea that we have, that any teacher who has spent in a school 3 years or more becomes eligible for transfer, according to an input incentivization. And then the second treatment, we are also considering those who are eligible for transfers, those who have stayed in a school for 3 or more years. Now, those who are have spent less than 3 years are ineligible according to the practice or according to the policy. Then, of looking at the input incentivization, is that you can see the level of variation of absences. We have those who absolutely never showed up in the school. And you can see, on average, as we were saying before,
and it's a research proposal that Dr. Marcus is going to present to us. And while he's getting ready, let us realize.
So I'm going to present a project that we're currently working on, Leonard and I. And so this matured out of a pilot project that was conducted in 2014 by the Institute for Empirical Research and Political Economy, which, yes, as you all know, is like the predecessor to the African School of Economics. And so the pilot project actually trained 15 students from the master program that IREP was conducting and train them as math teachers, and then send them to rural schools where they would teach alongside the resident math teacher. And yeah, so let me get straight into the idea behind this research project. So we know that math is essential for an individual's education. Not only to attend the Summer Institute for Economic Research, as we have seen in the last few days, but also a society that wants to be on the forefront of innovation, technology, and science, has to make sure that its citizens get a decent training in math. And so what we are recognizing in Benin is that actually the situation is alarming. So math teachers, especially in rural areas, they do lack training. They sometimes are not, they're not mathematicians often, and the second problem is that they are facing large classrooms, like class sizes are often beyond 40 students per teacher, which I guess in an American context is gigantic, right? And here it's still small. So another problem is that students start being at alarming levels. We want to ask ourselves, what is the situation, right? And so the PASEC is the Program for the Analysis of Education Systems. They state that 90% of the students in primary school graduate from primary school with the CEP, Certificat d'Enseignement Primaire. But amongst those, only 40% have sufficient math capacity. So it means that 60% of that primary school graduates actually do not have sufficient capacities to go to secondary school. And so once they are in high school, they will evidently face large difficulties. So another problem is not only do students enter with gaps in their math knowledge to high school. The second thing that we're observing is that at the last year of junior high school, the level is called troisième, the Benin system, students have to decide for a particular track. So they can decide between languages, human science, social science, and a math-intensive track, science and technology, and also biology and geology. And so we are observing that the enrollment in the math-heavy track is marginal. So in 2016, only 3.3% of 110,000 students enrolled in the math-heavy track. So that's another alarming situation that this project wants to tackle. So the research questions are, by training and dispatching complementary math teachers, can we increase the general level of math in Benin at the high school level? Can we change the perception that students have of mathematics? And can we increase the enrollment in the math-heavy track? And during this time, teachers provide math sessions in the first year of junior high school and in the last year of junior high school. So we decided for these two years of intervention because, as I said, students enter with low math skills to high school. So there are gaps existing that our complementary teacher hopefully fills. And then at the level of troisième, just before students have to take the decision for the different tracks or the different series, that's where we intervene again in order to give them motivation to go for math-heavy tracks.
So you can see she's behind IREP, she's behind ASC as well, and have to cope with me traveling almost every other month. Anyway, so.
Well, thank you. This was not planned, of course, right? And I'm pleased to be here, and I'm very encouraged by the attendance and the vibrancy of all the presentations that are taking place. And thank you for staying behind the vision that LEGO is still trying to implement. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay, thank you very much.
So we'll have a
Wow, ok, d'accord. Ok, d'accord.
Bonjour monsieur, présentez-vous s'il vous plaît.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Marcus Olapade. Je suis professeur assistant à la African School of Economics et je suis également le directeur de l'Institut de recherche empirique en politique économique.
Alors monsieur le directeur, vous venez de présenter un brillant exposé. Vous allez nous donner le titre et vous allez faire une synthèse de votre exposé.
Ok, donc l'exposé que je viens de présenter parlait d'une intervention que nous prévoyons à IREP en ce moment. Ce projet prévoit d'envoyer des enseignants missionnaires en mathématiques dans les zones rurales pour y donner des cours en mathématiques aux écoles secondaires. Donc c'est un projet de recherche qui est dans une phase préparatoire encore, c'est le début du projet et nous prévoyons d'envoyer 90 enseignants missionnaires cette année, ou plutôt au début de 2017 et en 2018 aussi, pour la durée de 3 mois. C'est à peu près, oui, ça c'est à peu près tout ce que j'ai présenté. Le projet commence, donc il n'y a pas encore de résultats, mais on attend.
Quelles sont les motivations?
Oui, la motivation primaire, c'est que le niveau des mathématiques au Bénin est dans une situation, disons, alarmante. On remarque qu'il y a très peu de gens qui s'inscrivent dans la série C, la série scientifique, série technique. Et la perception des mathématiques n'est pas tout à fait correcte. Donc les gens pensent que comme si on prend les maths à l'école, la seule chose qu'on peut faire dans sa vie, c'est de devenir professeur en mathématiques. Mais pour avoir une société qui avance dans l'innovation, dans la technologie, dans la science, c'est très important qu'il y ait un bon renforcement en mathématiques au niveau de l'école secondaire.
Ok. Un mot de fin sur l'ASE.
Sur l'ASE, bon, l'ASE, c'est un projet qui me tient beaucoup au cœur. Je suis professeur ici. Pour moi, c'est un miracle même. On constate que les visiteurs sont très enthousiastes de ce projet. On nous félicite pour la qualité de nos étudiants, pour la qualité de l'anglais qu'ils parlent. Et je sais que ce n'est pas toujours facile pour les étudiants, surtout au début, d'avoir des cours en anglais, mais ils se débrouillent pas mal. Et les présentations des étudiants de la première cohorte que nous avons vue pendant cette conférence montrent aussi la bonne qualité des gens que nous formons ici. Donc oui, j'aime bien ce projet, oui.
Ok, alors, bonne chance à vous.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Ok.
the flag data are scarce, and when they are available, the estimation method are correct. And we also notice that the data of flow data are also needed at the variety of spatial scales like local scales to enable us to analyze the variation, density, and also to investigate causal relationship between flag characteristics and also the amount of data. In the literature, we notice that the flag parameters that usually the author consider the season of appearance, the weight of water, the duration, the velocity, the possible contamination, or the combination of parameters. They used to miss one key parameter that is
Bonjour monsieur. Merci monsieur. Je suis Alice Bonou, épouse Fandoran. Je suis professeur assistant à African School of Economy. Au même moment, je suis l'assistant du doyen pour la recherche.
Vous venez de présenter un brillant exposé. Donnez-nous le titre et peut-être une synthèse de votre présentation.
D'accord. La présentation que j'ai donnée au cours de l'université d'été 2016, c'est de pouvoir évaluer l'impact de l'inondation de 2012 sur le rendement du riz au niveau des paysans. Et la particularité de ce travail, c'est qu'on n'a pas pu trouver un groupe de contrôle, comme d'habitude dans les études d'impact. Donc j'ai essayé d'utiliser une autre méthode qui prend en compte des traitements de variables qui sont continus, au lieu d'être binaires comme on est habitué, pour pouvoir évaluer l'impact. Et ce que nous pouvons déduire de cette présentation est que, vu l'importance du riz pour le Bénin, mon pays, mon cher pays, si l'inondation doit être répétée et chaque fois détruire les cultures, particulièrement le riz des paysans, à un moment donné, la famine pourra toucher mon pays et ce n'est pas bon. Donc c'est pouvoir trouver les voies et moyens pour protéger cette agriculture contre les aléas climatiques comme l'inondation que nous avons effectué cette étude. Sur la base de cette étude, par exemple, s'il y a une institution internationale qui vient et qui veut dédommager les paysans après une inondation, en fonction de cette étude, il sait sur quelle base tel paysan doit prendre 10 000, tel autre doit prendre 100 000, ainsi de suite. Avec cette étude aussi, nous arriverons dans 5 ans ou dans 10 ans à pouvoir mettre sur place une assurance pour couvrir les dommages liés aux inondations. Merci.
Vous avez déjà tout dit.
OK.
Alors parlez de l'ASE.
L'ASE, oh, l'ASE, c'est un environnement fantastique. Je ne pourrais pas demander mieux. Après ma soutenance de doctorat en avril passé seulement, j'ai eu le travail de professeur assistant à l'ASE et j'ai commencé en septembre passé. Ce qui est impressionnant ici, c'est la diversité des activités. Je donne des cours, je fais de la recherche scientifique et je fais aussi de l'administration. Donc ce qui me permet de ne pas être assise tout au long de la journée et de ne pas être debout aussi tout au long de la journée. Cette diversité est très fantastique. L'autre chose impressionnante à l'ASE, c'est l'aspect bilingue. C'est une opportunité pour les étudiants de pouvoir être en contact de deux civilisations, française et anglaise, surtout anglaise, parce que dès que tu maîtrises l'anglais, il n'y a plus de frontières pour toi. Tu peux aller dans tous les pays, tu peux lire tous les documents écrits par les chercheurs de tous les pays, de tous les continents, et tu es au top des informations. L'autre chose qui est intéressante à l'ASE, c'est les visiting professeurs. Les professeurs qui viennent de l'Europe, de l'Amérique, de l'Asie, de l'Afrique. Donc être en contact chaque fois avec ces professeurs, quand ils viennent, ils donnent les cours, mais il faut aussi des séminaires. Être en contact avec tous ceux-là vous permet d'être à l'affût des nouvelles méthodes dans votre domaine en matière d'économie, en matière d'économétrie, en matière de mathématiques et en matière de statistiques et en matière de business de l'administration. Donc c'est fantastique à l'ASE, l'environnement est bon. On est jeune, on est petit, mais on fait grand, on étonne le monde.
Puisque vous parlez bien de l'ASE,
oui.
ça me permet de vous demander
comment faire pour entrer à l'ASE. Il faut être excellent, soit en entrant en tant qu'étudiant, soit en entrant en tant que professeur, soit en entrant en tant que chercheur, ou soit en entrant en tant qu'administrateur. Il faut simplement être excellent. Vous appliquez dès qu'on lance les postes et puis c'est bon. En tant qu'étudiant, il faut avoir le minimum de licence en économie, en mathématiques, en statistiques ou en gestion. Vous envoyez vos dossiers, on évalue si vous êtes bon, vous êtes pris. Voilà.
Merci beaucoup, madame.
Je vous en prie. Je vais aller enlever, je t'amène.
Lack of roof over their heads, but it harms the city more broadly in terms of economic development. As Paul Collier and Anthony Venables argue in their paper, Housing and Urbanization in Africa, decent housing matters both because of the difference it makes in living standards and because of its centrality to economic development. They contend that the role of housing in economic development is not sufficiently recognized in African economics and has received far less analytic and empirical attention than either public investment or investment by firms. Housing is by far the most important single tangible asset that citizens in developed countries own, and the labor-intensive construction industry has contributed substantially to the employment in many countries. By not developing avenues to acquire and maintain decent, affordable housing, Lagos has lost the economic advantages that come with a home-owning middle class and with a robust construction industry, not to mention issues such as crime and poor public health associated with overcrowded settlements. My research argues that finding and maintaining accommodations has regularly been an uncertain endeavor for a large segment of the city's population, due to a history of onerous building codes, ambiguous legal guidelines, expensive titling processes, nearly non-existent small credit institutions, and discriminatory planning practices that have segregated, neglected, dispossessed, and demolished large parts of the city. The effect of these trends, coupled with massive population growth, has been a climate of insecurity around housing in Lagos, and therefore a lack of investment in upgrading of homes by individuals. This is the story of the development of a major housing crisis and the many elements that have gone into its creation. This has been a messy and convoluted process full of unintended consequences, both good and bad intentions, and an uneven resolve throughout the city's many neighborhoods. It is more complicated than a single reductive variable such as demographic growth or the lack of private property rights, which do in fact exist for some in Lagos. I take a historical approach in researching this project, drawing on a variety of sources such as colonial archives, documents from Lagos planning agencies, port and property records, and historic newspapers. I started my PhD dissertation. It focuses on the end of the 19th century, a time of significant change as the British administration of the colony again returned to the city after having been based in the Gold Coast for 2 decades, as a generation of legendary figures such as the merchant and power broker Madame Tinubu and longtime king of Lagos, Ogo Asunmu, passed away, and as new social and political movements emerged. The argument I make in this chapter is that unstable foundations for the city's housing would emerge during this period as a result of the unclear and biased legal regulations and court decisions that began to dispossess many poor residents. In this case, the map is from 1885, and it is the first complete survey of the city. It was prepared by a local government surveyor for the Colonial and Indian Exhibition of 1886 in London. The map illustrates a number of things about 1880s and 1890s Lagos that had an effect on housing and the housing market. The first and most notable.
So parts of Nigeria, you can go and hang out with family. Nobody tells you to watch out. And trust is important in every transaction, from the bedroom to the boardroom to the government. whether you need to trust your spouse, and then you need to trust your government, you trust your politician, and let me say that virtually every transaction has an element of trust. And then several studies have found that trust is very important for economic growth. From that at Clifford in 1997. And this has been shown across European regions by comparing North and South Italy and various other studies. And people have tried to look at how important is trust in financial markets. We looked at microcredit lending schemes and group lending schemes. And for those who work within trust, we did the group. And then trust is important if we're organized, the labor markets function, and so on and so forth. But I think the underlying question is, what determines the level of trust? Why is one person more trusting than the other? Or why are some societies have more trust than other societies? I think the general finding is that there's a very minor role for individual actors, like small schooling or kind of work that you do, or your employment history and things like that. And there's more society level factors have been found to be more important. Things like history, geography, climate. I think from Mr. Washington, I think they were on the impact of the slave trade on trust in a number of African societies. So what this paper, when we look at what determinant, it's not the only one determinant of trust, which I believe to be very important. By the end of the presentation, you would agree with me on this. Anyway, so there is this practice of women that process palm oil. They will go to a shrine and hope that if they cheat, that they don't process some amount, they will be married for the rest of their lives. Now we probably think that such things are nonsense. But for those women, this was real for them. They believe that if something happens to this palm oil, marriage, so we were used to enforce operation. But with Christianity, the missionaries thought that that's nonsense. Right? So, and this led, in order to secure adherence, the old men don't change religions. You find a 90-year-old man. So the target were young people and also those who were marginalized in the community. And I think the idea is that to seek to pull down the fabric of the society so that we can build something new. So that, the missionary tactic was deliberate, and it was deliberate that we would have to do away with traditional ways of doing things. And obviously this social conflict led to more operating behaviors, which I'll show you examples as the talk goes on. And then what it does is it signals that people have a low propensity to cooperate. So people are less likely to cooperate or do things the way you used to. And then, for example, this is an example from Kaba. Kaba is in northern Nigeria. So the colonial officer was reporting that in almost all cases, the young boys, they turn Christian. And once they turn Christian, they begin to scorn the orders of the local chief and their parents. So in this example, the community used to have, they will organize young boys to clean the community. But then there was a trend that if you became Christian, they would not do that. Then you are permitted not to clean. So most young men became Christian. So then obviously the teacher became the de facto parent. And then so he said that they asked of obedience, and then the respect is changing traditional institutions by itself is not enough to lead to persistent decline in trust. Okay? So the other problem was that there was nothing to replace it. Right? So Christianity doesn't take any part of stealing. Right? You are afraid that maybe if you die, you go to hell. Right? But that's not enough for the built upon the Nigerian state that was supposed to, replace the traditional way of doing things this way. I think I don't have to do a lot of work to convince you that Nigeria whose ancestors were exposed to more nations have less trust today. Yeah, I will be clear on what happened. And I'll just say, as an equal paper, we have to take up the robustness checks. So we want to see that, and then as you will find later, missionary activity is closely linked to this, or supposedly linked.
Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Dozier Okoye, Assistant Professor of Economics at Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Title of your presentation and then a brief summary of it.
The title of my presentation is Things Fall Apart, Nations, Institutions, and Trust. And it's about the impact of the institutional changes that were brought about by colonization, and especially Christian missionary activity on current levels of trust in Nigeria. In summary, what we do is to trace out the changes in traditional institutions due to the process of Christianization, and show that these changes have persistent impacts on trust between relatives, between neighbors, and between ethnic groups in modern Nigeria.
The advantages for the attendees. Motivations, advantages for the participants.
All right, so I think for the motivation behind the study is to understand how trust can be improved between groups in Nigeria and in West Africa and in Africa as a whole. And I think the important policy implication is the need to build up domestic institutions that will enhance bonds between people, and build capable institutions that will play the role that traditional institutions might have played in the past. And for students, I think by presenting this study, students are able to learn about current studies in the economic history of Africa, and also learn about new econometric tools that they can apply in their own individual studies as well.
Your end word, and then also,
Yes, I'm very glad to be here at SA and at Sier. I think the team is doing an incredible job. The students are amazing, well motivated, and well trained. And I think that we should all encourage them the best ways that we can for the future development of Benin, West Africa, and Africa as a whole. Thank you.
thank you.